Join me today as I go to the hospital for my IV medication. So we start the day off by wearing some loose clothing and we show our lovely veins off. And now we're going to be travelling to the hospital. This usually takes me around 45 minutes. And luckily I've got a lift. So now we're actually in the hospital and I'm getting ready for my IV. So here you can see the nurse applying a tourniquet, and this is going to make my veins sort of pop out and make it much easier for the nurse to inject that medication into my veins. And right now he's just checking which vein is going to be popping out enough and as appropriate for that needle to be injected into. So I'm just here waiting, looking at my arm, checking out which vein he's going to do. So now he's applying some alcohol rub, and that's going to be removing any of those germs on the surface of my skin, just so I don't get an infection whilst this is going on. We're just talking about veins here. I'm pointing out I've got some track marks actually from getting this done so many times. I've got all these little dots all over my veins, and it kind of looks like I'm a needle user because of it. But that just goes to show you how many times I've been in this hospital for this medication. So the medication that I'm getting today is Infliximab, and this is for my inflammatory bowel disease. I get this every 8 weeks. So I'm quite experienced with this. And here we go. The nurse is now injecting the needle into my arm, and I don't like to look at it. Oh, you can see my eyes flutter a bit there as it goes in. It's weird, it doesn't look painful on the camera, but it's funny watching it back and seeing my expression. But now the needle's in. There you go. The cannula is now in my arm. And now he's going to release the tourniquet and give it a little bit of a flush. I'm not actually sure what the flush is for. It's to flush out the pipes, I'm guessing, and make sure it's not hurting or anything like that. But you know, it's done before and after your medications, and that's just the way it goes. So at this point he's now putting on this sticky pad, and that keeps the cannula in place because you don't want it dripping out. And what I mean is you don't want it falling out. You want it to be securely in your arm, so that's what the sticker is there for. So we've got a nice close-up here just to show you the inner workings of the cannula. So here's a close-up of the arm. It's all hooked up, drugs pumping into my veins right now. So now that the needle's in place, the medication's being pumped in, all that's left is to really just wait for the medication to run through. So I like to just sit there, have a little snack, and use whatever device I've brought along with me. Today I brought some Marmite cashews with me, and they were very addictive to eat. And something that's become a bit of a ritual now is to actually go and get a selfie in the bathroom. I don't know why I started doing this, but I like to do it, and I like to flex my muscles a bit because it makes me feel a little bit better and like there's not so much wrong with me. So after an hour, that is the end, and my IV medication is done. So I just wanted to make this video to highlight to you that getting an IV is not a scary thing. All the nurses and healthcare assistants are really nice, and they're there to make you feel as comfortable as possible. So if you've got upcoming IV medications, don't worry. Thanks for watching.